Good morning, and welcome to GBC News. Today, Oscar, Ovejita and Frazzle's trial will start today. They were arrested for assaulting Principal Kermit and Vice Principal Miss Piggy on the last day of school. And therefore, they were banned from attending the last day of school dance party, and Kermit and Miss Piggy were sent to the hospital. Our correspondent, Captain Link Hogthrob, is live on the scene in front of the courthouse. Link Hogthrob, could you share your story, please? I was told from Dan Florrick, the assistant principal, that Oscar, Ovejita and Frazzle assaulted Principal Kermit and Vice Principal Miss Piggy and taken into custody for physical assault. They gave them a nosebleeds on the last day of school when the principals wouldn't let them attend the last day of school dance party with Grangetta, and they are being sent to the hospital because of this, because they were banned from the after-school dance party. One time they were beating up the principals of Sesame Street School, which it is bad for them to do so. They were arrested as they were accused for abuse, physical assault and attempted murder. Grangetta passed her classes and she attends the last day of school dance party. It has been decided that Oscar, Ovejita and Frazzle will be sent to the courthouse. Today is the start of their trial, and if they're guilty, they will be sentenced for 4 months and 5 days. And if not, they will be having another case on the 5th of November 2024. That's all I have to say. Back to the studio. Thank you, Link Hogthrob. We will now resume with normal programming operations. We will be back at 1:30 p.m. for another news report on GBC News. At Oscar, Ovejita and Frazzle's court case. Court is now in session. Oscar, Ovejita, and Frazzle, you three have been convicted of abuse, physical assault and attempted murder to your principals. This includes beating up with your clubs, sending them to the hospital, and much more. Do you have anything to say to yourself?
For your information, they deserve it because we don't want to be banned from attending the last day of school dance party, as they are all trash and poopy heads that they banned us for no reason.
Oscar, Ovejita, and Frazzle, you have no right to say those trash in court.
We don't deserve it because you almost scared us because you were angry at us for not attending the last day of school dance party, and we can't believe you would treat us like that.
Be quiet, you grouchy but Bert.
I said, you don't have any rights to say those trash in court, Oscar, Ovejita, and Frazzle. If you don't stop, you three will be arrested for contempt of court.
Oscar, Ovejita, and Frazzle, I don't think you should even beat up those principals at school. And why did you beat up those principals at school? Is it your imagination or what? Because when I'm at school, I didn't do any trouble.
Be quiet, you disgusting piece of garbage, you grouchy freak. We have the right to do anything we want because the world revolves around us.
Oscar, Ovejita, and Frazzle, since you three don't stop saying those trash in court, I will be convicting you with contempt of court as well. All right, Oscar, Ovejita, and Frazzle, how do you plead?
We plead not guilty.
All right, Oscar, Ovejita, and Frazzle, how do you plead?
Guilty.
Guilty.
Guilty. Guilty. Guilty.
Guilty.
Guilty.
Guilty. Guilty.
Guilty. Guilty. Guilty. Guilty.
Guilty.
Guilty.
Guilty.
Guilty.
Guilty.
Guilty.
Guilty.
Guilty.
Guilty.
Guilty.
Guilty.
Guilty.
Guilty.
Guilty.
Guilty.
Guilty.
Guilty.
Guilty.
Guilty.
Guilty.
Guilty.
Guilty.
Guilty.
Guilty.
Guilty.
Guilty.
All right, Oscar, Ovejita, and Frazzle, you three have been found guilty for abuse, physical assault, and attempted murder, and contempt of court, and you have been sentenced for 4 months and 5 days of prison. Case dismissed.
This is your cell with no sink, no toilet, no bed, and no air conditioner. You will stay here until your 4 months and 5 days is over in jail. You have some visitors who want to see you.
Oscar, Ovejita, and Frazzle,
We
Oscar,
cannot believe you were
Ovejita,
found
and
guilty
Frazzle,
for abuse,
we cannot believe you were
physical
found
assault,
guilty
and
for
attempted
abuse,
murder,
physical
and
assault,
contempt of
and
court.
attempted
And
murder,
now you
and
three are
contempt
going
of
to be
court.
sentenced
And now
for
you
4
three are
months
going
and
to be
5
sentenced
days
for
because
4
of
months
that.
and 5
We had
days
enough of
because
you.
of that. We had enough of you.
That's it.
You three are grounded until Inside Out 2 comes in theaters on June 14, 2024.
And while you three are grounded, you will be eating nothing but lumpy potatoes for every meal, including dessert. Now go to bed on the floor.
Now go to bed on the floor. Stop crying like babies right now,
or we will turn you into one,
and we will have you three humiliated for the rest of your lives.